You're looking her in the eyes, listening to her words, and every fiber of your being wants to believe her. She's telling you she was just out with friends, or it's nothing, I'm just tired. You tell yourself you're being trusting, being a good partner. But that knot in your gut, that nagging suspicion, it's not paranoia. It's your primal instinct screaming that something is wrong. Today, we're ripping off the blindfold. I'm going to expose the subtle, unconscious tells that every woman exhibits when she's lying to you. The micro-expressions, the verbal dodges, the physiological giveaways that most men completely miss because they're too invested in the comfortable lie. This isn't about becoming suspicious, it's about becoming perceptive. It's about recognizing the truth even when she's desperate to hide it, and reclaiming your emotional frame. Your girlfriend just came home, hours late. You ask her where she was. She looks you in the eye, maybe a little too intently, and says, "Oh, just out with Sarah and a few other girls. We lost track of time." Your gut churns. Your logic wants to believe her, but something feels off. Or perhaps she's downplaying a male friend, saying, "Oh, he's just a friend from work. We barely talk." Yet you see the subtle shift in her posture, the slight hesitation before the words. Every man has been there. That moment when you're looking into her eyes, wanting to trust, wanting to believe, but a primal alarm bell is ringing in your subconscious. The problem isn't your intuition. The problem is that most men are programmed to ignore these alarms, rationalizing away the red flags, desperate to maintain a comfortable peace. The uncomfortable truth is this: women are, on average, more adept at emotional deception than men, and they often wield it subconsciously to maintain comfort, avoid confrontation, or protect their emotional options. This isn't a judgment, it's a cold, hard psychological fact. While you're processing her words, her subconscious is broadcasting a torrent of nonverbal cues that scream the opposite. You're trying to win her affection by being trusting, but she's evaluating your strength based on your ability to see through her illusions. The man who misses these signs isn't nice, he's unperceptive, and therefore easily manipulated. This isn't about becoming a detective in your own relationship. It's about developing the high frame awareness to protect your own emotional sovereignty and ensure you are operating in reality, not fantasy. We're going to expose the subtle, psychological, and physiological tells that reveal a woman is lying to your face. The things her body and subconscious can't help but betray, no matter how good her words are. By the end of this video, you will have a new lens through which to view every interaction, allowing you to discern truth from deception and safeguard your emotional frame. If you are tired of being blindsided, tired of the nagging doubt, and ready to truly understand the hidden language of female communication, then you need to be part of this channel. We expose the uncomfortable truths that others won't. Hit that subscribe button right now and make sure you hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next vital lesson in understanding female psychology. The first critical tell is in the eyes and face, the micro-expression leakage. When a woman is lying, her subconscious is in conflict. She wants to maintain composure, but her true emotions are trying to leak out. This often manifests in her eyes and mouth, even if only for a fraction of a second. A man I know, let's call him James, was in a long-term relationship. His girlfriend, Emily, had started working late frequently. One night he asked her calmly, "Hey, how was work tonight? Long day?" She replied, "Yeah, really long, just lots to catch up on." As she said "long day," James noticed a fleeting, almost imperceptible tightening of the lips, a subtle compression, and her eyes darted slightly to the left before settling back on him. This wasn't a sustained look away, it was a rapid scanning motion. His gut told him something was off. Later, he discovered she was meeting an ex-boyfriend for drinks. The lip tightening was her subconscious attempt to suppress her true emotions, and the eye dart was her accessing a fabricated memory. Most men would dismiss this as nothing. James didn't. He paid attention to the fleeting leakage. Look for these subtle cues. Eyes darting quickly, especially up left for visual construction or right for emotional suppression. Dilated pupils, signaling heightened cognitive load or arousal or stress. Or a slight quick tightening of the lips, indicating an attempt to control the mouth and hide true emotions. Also, watch for the fake smile, where only the mouth curves up, but the eyes don't crinkle at the corners. A genuine smile involves the whole face. The second area to scrutinize is verbal patterns and linguistic dodges. When someone is fabricating a story, their language often changes. They become either overly simplistic, overly detailed, or use peculiar phrasing. Consider another man, Michael, who was dating a woman, Sarah, he met online. She told him he was a successful freelance consultant. One evening, he casually asked, "So, what kind of clients do you typically work with?" Sarah paused, then replied with unusual formality, "Oh, I work with various clients in the corporate sector, just standard business development." She also used filler words like or more frequently. Michael, observing this, didn't press, but noted the overgeneralization and hesitation. He later found out she was mostly unemployed, doing odd jobs. Her language shifted from casual to stilted, vague, and rehearsed because she was actively constructing a narrative. Listen for hesitation, stuttering, or an unusual shift in tone or cadence. Liars often over-explain trivial details to make the main lie seem more credible. Or they become overly vague when asked for specifics. They might also repeat questions like, "Where was I? Where was I?" to buy time to construct their response. Another classic is the denial-based question, where they respond to an accusation with a question rather than a direct denial. "Are you saying I was with someone else?" rather than, "No, I wasn't." If these insights are giving you a new level of clarity and you want to understand the psychological game played in dating at its deepest level, then you need to be part of this community. We expose the hidden dynamics that truly define relationships. Don't miss out. Subscribe right now and turn on notifications so you can arm yourself with the truth. The third, often overlooked set of indicators are body language discrepancies and incongruence.
The body often betrays what the mouth tries to conceal. Liars frequently exhibit subtle physical signs of discomfort or attempts at control. There was a story I heard from a friend about his brother, Tom. Tom's wife, Lisa, accused him of being late to pick up their kids, something he swore he didn't do. She said, "I waited there for 20 minutes. While saying this, Lisa was fidgeting with her necklace, her shoulders were slightly hunched, and she was rubbing her arm. All classic self-soothing gestures. Her words were aggressive, but her body language screamed anxiety and discomfort. Tom, who had learned to read these signs, realized she was projecting her own guilt onto him. It turned out she was the one late, but she was twisting the narrative. He didn't confront her immediately. He simply observed and later subtly confirmed his suspicions. Her verbal aggression was a mask for her physical discomfort. Watch for increased fidgeting or self-soothing behaviors, touching hair, rubbing arms, adjusting clothing. These are unconscious attempts to relieve stress. Limited gestures or gestures that seem stiff and unnatural can also be a sign, as the liar is consciously trying to control their body. Pay attention to incongruence. When her words say, "I'm relaxed," but her body is tense, rigid, or leaning away. A liar might also cover their mouth or touch their nose more often, a subconscious barrier to the deception. Finally, a sudden change in posture or a physical barrier, like placing an object between you and her, can signal a desire to create distance or hide. These aren't foolproof gotcha tactics. No single sign guarantees deception. But when you see a cluster of these behaviors, the darting eyes, the hesitant speech, the fidgeting hands, it's not paranoia. It's data. It's her subconscious screaming what her words are trying to hide. The most important takeaway is this: your emotional frame is paramount. When you spot these signs, do not immediately confront her with accusations. That is a low-frame, reactive response that will only make her more defensive. Instead, observe, gather data, and recalibrate your own internal map of reality. Her deception is not about you, it's about her. Your response defines your value. The man who can see the truth, even when it's uncomfortable, is the man who truly controls his own reality. He is the man who cannot be manipulated, and that unshakable perceptiveness is a core pillar of high-value masculinity. Use these insights wisely, develop your perception, and never again let a comfortable lie override your gut instinct. If this video has armed you with a new powerful layer of perception, don't let this knowledge fade. Empower yourself with more psychological truths that others avoid. Subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications to join the growing community of men who are masters of their own reality. This is how you reclaim your power and protect your emotional frame.